What's good, YouTube? It's your man Rage King back with another one. Yes, another upload to the channel. And before we get started, I ask if you'll please go down there and hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit that share button, hit that bell for notifications if you're new. Welcome to Rage Rants TV. This is how we do Rage and Rebels. Crown up. And if you're new to the crew, welcome to the Rage and Rebel Revolution. Now let's vibe. And y'all, in this video, as you see right here on your screen, the Astros, per the Astros GM, Justin Verlander is not returning this season. Let's speak on it. Now, got an article here to read from the Houston Chronicle. We're going to read it and then we're going to react to it because that's just how we do, all right? So let's get into it. James Click, the Astros GM, closed the small window Astros fans hope could stay open. Justin Verlander will not pitch this season, and attention now turns to his future in Houston. During his weekly interview on Sports Talk 790 on Wednesday, Click described a recent phone call between Verlander and his doctors that put any thoughts of a return to rest. That's a big blow. That's a big blow to the Astros. I know we didn't held up since then. You understand what I'm saying? But as I've said at the beginning of the season, and I'm going to say until the end of the season, we needed one more big arm. We needed one more ace, especially with Justin Verlander being out. We needed one more big arm to put next to Zach Greinke. But they didn't do it. It couldn't happen. Whatever reason, it didn't happen. And now we're in the situation we're in now. So let's move forward. Let's continue reading. Verlander underwent Tommy John surgery September 30th, 2020, but in May offered slim hope he could contribute as a reliever if the Astros season continued into October. And now that's been put laid to rest. I wouldn't want to rush him back anyway. You understand what I'm saying? They told him with the date of the surgery where he would be in the progression could he do it. Yeah, Click said on the Sean Salisbury show. But it would have tremendous risk just for the efficiency of the surgery and everything else. They advised him strongly against it. Click commended Verlander for initiating the conversation with his doctors and lauded his competitiveness. A return this season never seemed feasible given the surgery's 12 to 14 month recovery and Verlander's age. Even Verlander acknowledged he could only return as a reliever, a role in which he has one major league appearance. So he's gonna go from, starting rotation to reliever. After Tommy John surgery at his age, that seemed like that long term that would be the best thing for him going forward, just in my opinion. Like after a surgery like that, when you got to repair that tendon, it's really tough to come back from that, especially when you up in age like that. Like you can't expect him to go out there and pitch, 70 to 100 pitches every start. You understand? It would be best for Justin Verlander, even if he isn't with the Astros going forward. In my opinion, I think that's just what he needs to go ahead and do. Become a closer. You understand what I'm saying? Become this generation's Mario Rivera if you got to. You understand what I'm saying? Just in my opinion, that would be best for him long term, so he don't tear his elbow back up. But that's just my opinion. There's a lot of things that need to go perfect from now till then for that to even be a discussion, Verlander said in May. I really hope that my teammates put me in a position to make that decision. I really hope these guys continue to play great baseball and win baseball games and go out there and play deep until October. And that would be very difficult for me not to join them. That would be interesting to see if that was to happen. That would have been interesting to see, as I say. Verlander now must face that reality. He will enter free agency this winter with a resume unlike any other player in recent memory. He struck out a career-high 300 batters and won an American League Cy Young Award in 2019. Just 2 years ago, y'all. Just 2 years ago, this man was still that dominant for us. A season after finishing as the runner-up. He will also be 39 years old. He will also be 39 years old during the 2022 season and fresh off of a reconstructive surgery. Excuse me for stuttering. In May, Verlander said that he is nowhere close to the finish line and reiterated that his long-held desire to pitch until he is 45. His free agency promises to be a fascinating case study. Verlander is eligible to receive a one-year qualifying offer from the Astros after the season. Exact financial terms of the offer are not yet known. It's worth the mean of the Major League Baseball's 125 highest salaries. But last season, the offers were worth $18.9 million. Houston gave one last offseason to George Springer, which he obviously declined. Yeah, I remember him going to the Blue Jays. That was tough. This winter, the Astros are almost guaranteed to give. The This winter, the Astros are almost guaranteed to give shortstop Carlos Correa a qualifying offer. Like Springer, Correa will certainly decline it. Houston will extend the offer for the draft pick compensation that comes with the player declining it. Click and his front office have a far more compelling decision with Verlander. 1 year high dollar deal seems like the sort of contract Verlander could be in line for on the open market, but putting any governors or assumptions on a future Hall of Famer is unwise. Zach Greinke's impending departure will deprive the Astros of a proven workhorse atop their starting rotation, but their surplus of starters makes the position not a primary need in the offseason. Addressing shortstop and shoring up the bullpen seems more of a pressing concern. And that's the end of the article. As I've said before, and I'll say again, I really do think that the Astros could have used one more big arm, at least this season. I'm not really worried about the Astros going forward because, as we've seen, the Astros and their front office is one of the most. These guys know how to draft. You understand what I'm saying? This is one of the most impressive front offices I've ever seen. These guys have taken draft picks and turned them into and turned them to almost a dynasty. You understand what I'm saying? And with that being said, you got a guy like Verlander who's getting up there in age, who's coming off Tommy John surgery. You got a guy like Zach Greinke who's probably going to walk. You got a guy like Carlos Correa, who I think the Astros should have tried to have gotten a trade for before the start of the season. People thought I was crazy. Instead of just letting him walk for nothing. So with that being said, I think that Justin Verlander has played his last inning as an Astro? I really do think he has. Unless he wants to come back as a high dollar closing pitcher, which I think would be best for him going forward to any team he signs to. I don't think that there's any reason for Verlander to come back to Houston with Correa. Sorry, I got the names mixed up. With Correa getting ready to leave, with Zach Greinke possibly leaving, and then himself getting up there in age, he's probably going to want to go to a team that can compete more. Honestly, I think this will be the best time. Though the Astros still have the pieces to compete, they still have the players to compete. I think that this is the time now for the Astros. I think that they're also looking at it as, you know what, let's just continue to build towards the future. We got a lot of starters, so we could have traded one or two of them and some draft picks and got a big arm. But you know what? We believe in the guys we have. We believe in the way we draft. We like the guys we still have here, like Altuve, like Brantley, you understand, like Uriel, like Jordan Alvarez. You understand? We still have very quality players. I was just saying, just for this season right here, if they wanted to heighten their chance of winning the World Series this year, which I think they have every chance to do so, even without Verlander, I just think it would have gave them that much more of a chance to win. But if they feel that and I'm not against Houston doing this. I'm all for letting the older guys walk to build for the future, because that's exactly what Houston has been doing. That's what they've been doing for the past 10 years. That's how we get to the World Series in 2017. That's how we stay sniffing around the World Series come October. You understand what I'm saying? So with the come September and try to get into October. So with that being said, I'm all for it. It's always hard to see good players go, especially when they've done so much for not only the team but for the sport of baseball, like Zach Greinke, like Carlos Correa, like Verlander. It's hard to see guys like that go, but I think going forward, this would be the best move possible. Again, I thought they should have traded Carlos Correa so you don't let like a George Springer situation happen where you just lose him for nothing. But if this is how they can save some money and build towards the future and possibly go out and re-sign some of these guys, you understand what I'm saying? They don't take the qualifying offer or go sign another free agent. You understand what I'm saying? If that's what they feel they got to do, I'm all for it. I trust the Astros organization. I trust their front office to do the right thing. I would do the same thing here in this situation. Go ahead. If he can't take, I would offer Verlander maybe 10 to 12 million to be a closing pitcher. But if he's not for that, if he feels he can get more and wants to go to another team, let him walk. Same with Carlos Correa. If he doesn't accept the offer that we want, let him walk. I'm all for letting the guys walk, particularly Verlander. I love Verlander, big fan of him, but I just think in this case and for the Astros going forward, Justin Verlander has very well played his last inning for the Houston Astros. And I think honestly, though we lose a great guy and a great bullpen arm, and in my opinion, a first ballot Hall of Famer, this gives the Astros a chance to go out there, see what they got in their bullpen now, see what they got in their rotation, and go out and draft who they need to or go out and sign who they need to, if need be and they feel necessary. But that's just my opinion. Y'all let me know down in the comment section what y'all think about the Justin Verlander situation. Do you think the Astros do you think that not having Verlander will hurt the Astros in the postseason? Do you think that they'll be all right without Justin Verlander in the postseason? Do you think that Justin Verlander is the reason why they could have possibly won the World Series this year? Let me know down in the comment section what you think. As long as you remain respectful and logical, we can have a conversation. But that's gonna be the end of my video. I hope you enjoyed. It's been a pleasure making it for you. My name is Rage King. I am out, and I'll be back later on with more videos, more commentary, and more good content. Now, hashtag that enough said. See y'all later.